declaring the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives to be vacant. This is the uniparty for the American people watching.
Gentlelady will suspend.
Marjorie Taylor Greene stood on the House floor today to do what she has been threatening to do for weeks, to try and oust Speaker Mike Johnson. And this is how her Republican colleagues responded.
Stunts like this does not unify our conference.
And we will not be distracted by Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene should be punished?
But one dumpster fire at a time.
One dumpster fire at a time. Greene's motion to vacate failed in a 359-43 vote, with over 3/4 of the Democratic caucus voting against it. After the vote, Speaker Mike Johnson did what I guess is a victory lap. Joining me now is Brendan Buck, MSNBC political analyst and former press secretary to House Speaker John Boehner. And back with me is former Senator Claire McCaskill. Brendan, Marjorie Taylor Greene versus the Uniparty. Who's winning?
Clearly the Uniparty, if that's a thing. Look, I think this was actually a really important vote for the House. I mean, for a really long time, we have been paying way too much attention to really unserious people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I think for once, not just the Republicans or the Democrats, the institution stood up for itself a little bit and said, we're not going to do this anymore. And when that threat to take out the speaker goes away, I think the calculus in the House is very, very different. And even when it wasn't such a live issue, I can tell you that speakers were always thinking about this. At least the last 4 Republican speakers were always thinking about this. So I think this is a really important moment. We're not out of the clear by any stretch. I don't think this is the last we've seen of Marjorie Taylor Greene, but a really positive step, I think, for the House.
I mean, just to be clear, Claire, Democrats are the ones that saved Speaker Johnson here. And moments, hours before they saved him, he was out there spinning conspiracies about election fraud and saying that you should be concerned that illegal aliens might be voting in 2024. This guy is not a centrist Rockefeller Republican. And my question is, should Democrats have extracted more of a price?
I don't think so. I think Brendan's right that this was good for the institution. But I don't think we can say Marjorie Taylor Greene lost, because what they have turned their party into is a performative show. And let's be honest, she was jealous at Lorraine Boebert when Lorraine Boebert took out McCarthy and was part of that crowd. And she wanted that attention. That's what she thrives on. That's the only thing she cares about. And she knows that the base of the Republican Party is not interested in solving any problems. They are more interested in tearing down government. So that's what she was doing today. She was putting on a show. And guess what? She'll raise a boatload of money over the next 24 hours from the people who think Donald Trump is the second coming.
To that end, and to your point earlier, Brendan, Donald Trump Truth Socialed today. I absolutely love Marjorie Taylor Greene. However, right now, Republicans have to be fighting the radical left Democrats. With a majority of 1 shortly growing to 3 or 4, we're not in a position of voting on a motion to vacate. At some point, we may very well be, but this is not the time. I mean, if you're Mike Johnson, aren't you kind of like, with friends like these, who needs enemies? I mean, not even taking a motion to vacate off the table.
Yeah, how about that for a lifeline? And Kevin McCarthy found that out, too. Kevin McCarthy did really everything that he thought he could to keep Donald Trump in a good place, and it didn't really save him. I think we should appreciate, to your point earlier about Democrats saving him, Johnson lost about the same number of votes as Kevin McCarthy did. The obvious, very different dynamic here is Democrats were there. I think the question that we all need to be thinking about is, if Marjorie Taylor Greene does this again a week from now, or 2 weeks from now, or a month from now, how long are Democrats going to be able to stomach saving him? I think they got something for this the first time. It was bringing up Ukraine aid. But there's going to be a lot of things that Mike Johnson's going to need to do over the next few months to try to get him back in good graces with conservatives. This is a guy who wants to be speaker again if Republicans win back the House. So he's going to want to do something to mend some offenses there. And those things will probably come at the cost of goodwill with Democrats. I think he'll probably survive this Congress. But it's going to become very unpopular in that caucus. And I don't know how much longer Hakeem Jeffries is going to be able to stand up in front of his own members and say, we got to vote again to save Mike Johnson. If she keeps doing this, and under current rules, she could do this every single day if she wants to.